Mob members, salute. Thank y'all for tuning back in. It's your boy Trey,
Your boy Ray.
and we have a special guest. Of course, we have Madam Producer in the background, but we also have Miss Giselle on the show. So thank you, Miss Giselle, for being here. Thank you. I understand you just got back from Costa Rica not too long ago, right?
Yes, I did.
So yeah, because we've been talking about traveling a lot. So talk to us about the culture of Costa Rica. Could you like how is America? First of all, how does American currency work over there?
Yeah, so I was in Costa Rica for 6 months, leading out of 2023 into 2024.
Wow.
It was just a opportunity that came, and I took the risk and I went for it with me and my children. And we was there. The plan was to be there for 2 months, but I loved it so much where it ended up being 6 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a life-changing experience. It was different. It's, something that I'm extremely grateful and humble to be have able to just do it,
Right. Yeah.
And it was definitely life changing.
Mm-hmm.
The money there, the money there is definitely different. The dollar there, I believe, is like, what is the dollar? It's about 18. What is it? 18% or something like that lower than the American dollar. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's like a little bit lower than the American dollar.
Okay.
I tell people that it was affordable there. It wasn't cheap,
right?
But it was affordable.
Yeah. What's the currency called over there?
It's called colones.
Colones.
Yes.
Colones. Okay. Yeah, my mother just went to Costa Rica last year actually, and she said it was beautiful. And she said the people were very, very hospital, like, they showed great hospitality. They was willing to show her around, like tell her where to go and everything. So, yeah, man, yeah. I guess I gotta add Costa Rica on my list, bro. Yeah.
Definitely should.
Yeah. Because the top places I want to visit, top three is Germany, Colombia, and somewhere in the United Arab Emirates. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I want to see what Saudi Arabia is about specifically, because I know a few people who moved there. They say it's like one of the best experiences that they ever had.
Really?
They help them with housing, free healthcare, free education, low crime. Like I heard it's like a paradise over there.
I always tell people, if you go out the country, at least go out for at least 2 weeks if you can.
Right.
And if you really, really can, do a month.
Yeah.
Just to really get the full experience of just, being in another environment, culture, and all of that. You could really immerse yourself in it.
Would you say that Costa Rica is a place where like you can move to and like be happy?
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely a group of expats there. Expats is, the people are a group of black people. Black expats that was there that I got connected with before I went down there. So yes, definitely moving down there, starting a life, doing something different. And actually in Costa Rica, we have a group of our own black people down there on the Caribbean side. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because like, a lot of people don't know this, like most of the people who were imported from Africa, like most of them went to Southern American countries anyway. So yeah, I can, yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
Speaking of black people, if you're talking about traveling to Europe or the Middle East, you better make sure they accept black people, because I ain't trying to go over there and get no racial treatment.
I mean, well, most of the people who who moved out of the country were black, and they like we got a homeboy named Nate, and him and his brother, I think they moved to Ghana or something like that. And I've met people who live in Nigeria who are originally from here. And they said like they take care of you so well down there. Like it's kind of incredible.
And I heard that like people, we don't deal with the racist stuff outside the country. We only deal with that in America. So traveling outside, like I don't think we have to worry about, do they like black people? Do they like nerds?
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with that.
I heard that is only like in like Asia, where it's like you may get like some looks. No.
My spiritual coach, she lived in China for 10 years, and she didn't have to deal with that.
Wow. Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, I really thought Asia would like be some. I just thought they would look at black people some type of way. I guess that's just me being.
I want to go to Japan.
Ooh,
yeah.
So I hope that's not the case.
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Yeah, 100%. I heard Indonesia is pretty cool too.
Yeah,
I heard that's like a pretty good place to live as well. But yeah, a lot of people are moving out of the country, man, just because like things just aren't the same as they once was. You know, like just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like passing that law. Did you hear about that law in California where like if a kid feels some type of way about their gender, they're not plausible to tell their parents, but like they can go to like a counselor in school and talk to them about that.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they got all this stuff like happening, and it's not just in California. Like it's like when you attack the kids, it's like, okay, now we got to move around somewhere. Like you're not gonna attack my kids, you know? Like that's kind of insane to me.
No child should have that much authority and power, over themselves, because they don't know. They don't know. They don't have that much knowledge or just anything to be making those type of decisions.
Yeah,
it's up to the parents and the adults, but mainly their parents, to protect them.
Yeah.
But when you have laws and the government trying to get in between that, then that's definitely a problem. It's a problem for me as a mother, and when they have somebody else trying to convince my child or give my child these rights, like, no, that's an issue for me.
How many kids do you have, Giselle?
I have two.
Yeah, two boys?
Two, one boy, one girl.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. But yeah, that whole thing, and I was talking to my mother like about this just a couple of days ago. I was like, these type of, now I wasn't alive in those times, like 30, 40 years ago. I'm only 26. But I'm like, these terms didn't exist until the late 2000s, and they say the science is constantly evolving.
Whatever that means.
I don't even know what that's even supposed to mean, but yeah, things are just getting like so twisted nowadays.
Definitely getting twisted and just out of control. It's like, will it ever go back? Will it ever get back stable?
I don't think so. Because I think there's like a certain level of control. And I think the number one layer is with the TV and the social media. You know what I mean? Because people just are quick to believe the first thing that they see and just not question it. That's why I don't watch the news like that. I'd rather get my news from Twitter. Yeah. Because at least then I can see both sides of the spectrum and then make my decision from there.
Yeah.
But when I see like the same news outlet saying the same thing that ABC said or something like that, I'm not really learning anything new. Y'all just saying it in a different manner.
This year has really exposed that and like brought that to my attention. Like, oh, this is what the media does. This is what they're supposed to do. This is how they do it.
Yeah.
As far as, with the headlines, the word choice, just to get people to look at it a certain way.
Yep.
It's all about control.
Yeah.
I apologize for talking to
you. No, like no, please. Like we love hearing different perspectives, and that debate was like I think that was a prime example of that debate. Like that was extremely biased. You know what I mean? I didn't get upset while watching it, but it's like okay, clearly they're trying to push something that's not there. And yeah. But people just don't care to like research anything or like question like what's being told to you. There's nothing wrong with being questioned what's told to you. I mean, that's how humans evolve. So don't be afraid to question.
People are starting to wake up to it because it's been going on for so long.
Yeah.
Where it's a system.
Yeah.
It's a system. It's a hierarchy. It's all of that. And it's like, now that it's been exposed and people are more aware about it, that system is crashing down.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if more and more people really get into it, then, we will realize like how much powerful we are as individuals.
100%. Yeah.
And how far we can go because we perish due to lack of information.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we get all of our information and sources from the media, then like who knows what we don't know because we've been listening to the the wrong media outlets of news for so many years, even before we was born.
Mm-hmm.
This was our source of information.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that we've been exposed to, or now that we realize that is part of it is a lie,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
it's definitely, it's a wake up, you know.
Yeah,
definitely is happening.
Yeah, and you know, like me and Ramon was talking about this. You know, it's just like they transformed everything. Like slavery still exists in some certain degree, but it's sort of like industrialized systems to disguise that. You know what I mean? Like you got the media, like you just said, with the media outlets saying the same thing. Big pharma pushing all these vaccines instead of just telling you to have a clean diet. You know. And with the food companies, like, hey, you can eat this and you'll be fine. Like, no, just adding all types of flavor and all that shit. Like, there's an app, and I forget what it's called too. It's some app where it's like you can scan like a water bottle or a can of soda, and then you can compare it to other ingredients in other different countries, and it will list off every single ingredient. And then my friend had showed me this. And I'm just like, I don't know what this is, that, and a lot of this stuff they put in like genetic, you know, experiments. You know what I mean? So it's like you no, it's not. This ain't good, man. Like, well, but you know, people. I mean, you're not gonna, you know, question the system unless you just aren't afraid of offending anybody. You know. And the goal isn't to offend anybody, but like, if we got something to say, we got something to say.
Yeah, and I think, like, you know, is the information is out there. You know, it's really up to us if we know it or not, or someone just bring it to our attention.
Yeah.
And you know, we know now that it's a lot of stuff that they have for us, but that they don't want us to know. You know, when I mean that the government basically they don't want us to know a lot of things, but it's really out there. You know, it's up to us to read.
Yeah, that's the main thing. That's literally the main thing.
Yes, and just, you know, and start to realize that, you know, we are in this. I'm not gonna say we in this for ourselves, but we have to start, you know, looking out for us and our own, because it's really nobody else.
Yeah.
The government is not taking care of us. They don't look out for us. We have to look out for us.
I don't want the government involved in anything that I'm doing. I don't want that. I don't want you to know like who I have in my home, you know, taxes, whatever, you know. But like now everything is like it just seems like everything is like pushing towards to be government controlled. Like with Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg literally just came out the other week saying that he was forced to censor some stuff.
Yep.
Like now at that point, you're just attacking our freedom of speech.
I was going to bring that up. Do you really feel like freedom of speech is under attack these days?
I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Absolutely.
You say one thing out of pocket, or say one thing that nobody else is saying, and then you're looked at some type of way, like you an asshole or something.
Even now, like if you disagree or like come at a certain group of people, for example, actually I'm not even gonna say them, but come at a certain group of people, you get canceled, shit like that.
That cancel culture.
Yeah, cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I just saw a video in France where someone who posted a Facebook status, and it was just their opinion about whatever. I think it was about politics or whatever.
Yeah.
It was their opinion. You know, we post our own statuses and stuff.
Right.
They had the police knocking on his door. And was just like, yeah, what you posted on there was not cool, and we're gonna arrest you.
What?
And they arrested him for that. And he was recording this saying, yes, it's my opinion, it's what I want to say. And they were just like, no, we don't talk like that. We don't do that. So they monitoring very closely in other countries. And you got to pay attention now into other countries as well, what they do to it too, you know, in China. And you see with the whole, in Brazil, how they just
they got protests in Brazil, like filling the streets. And I think even in Canada too, like where like they got some things where it's like you can't post certain things, otherwise it's considered a crime.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
Now you can't say how you feel. Like
that's slowly creeping into the U.S. now. So yeah, they watching it much closely because they know our voice is powerful. You know, our voice is power to it. And if you talking some real stuff, or if you talking too much, we gotta shut you up.
Yeah,
you can't tell that what you talking about.
Yeah, nope. the powers that be, like they just trying to control everything. You know.
Remember Kanye West? I ain't trying to bring him up.
Hey.
Well, Ye, that's his name. Ye.
Ye. Big Ye. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I don't care how many people say that he's crazy, or how many people say that he lost himself, you know. But at least he says what he means, and he means what he says, and he believes in what. That's something I can respect more than anything. That's something I can respect more than anything. So shout out to Big Ye.
Well, speaking of freedom of speech and stuff, do you all feel like you have a great understanding of your rights? Like what your rights are in this country?
A little bit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not that educated on stuff like that, but I know a little bit, like freedom of speech. I know they're trying to go against the Second Amendment as well. It's a different discussion. But yeah, I know there's certain things they can't do that they try to like just force onto the people. It's just like, all right, bro. Like when you just talk about cancel culture, it's literally going against the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Say whatever I want, like, express whatever idea I want. So
yeah. For me personally, I got a uncle who's a sheriff, another one who was in CPD, and I got I have a few lawyers in my family too. So yeah, I grew up kind of knowing the basic understanding of my rights, but ever since the age of 18, and I never even and it kind of just happened naturally too, because at first I didn't give a damn about politics. You know what I mean? It kind of just gravitated towards me, and I just couldn't help but like, you know my rights as a citizen, know what's going on, despite what the media says. And yeah, I've always questioned everything. Like even like something simple, like as my dad teaching me, like cut it this way, like using silverware. Why can't I just grab it and eat it? Because it's not proper. You don't want to make a mess, son. So it's like, I've always had that questionable mindset, was like, why are things the way it is now?
And I agree with Ramon. Yeah, I know a little bit, but just getting older, and then with this whole election year, is definitely opened my eyes. It's just like, okay, I need to know my rights. What rights do I have? What living in, just in this country, like, what are we really free? What rights do I have? What can I say? How much power do I have? And that's all, starting to lighten up, where it's just like, yeah, I have to get up on it and really know.
Yeah. I've seen a lot. I've seen people who like who was once like me, didn't give a damn about politics, but then this election year specifically, it's got like, all right, nah, bro, like, no, we know what's going on now, and I guess that just goes with people, believing in their own eyes and ears instead of what the media tells them, But yeah, this election year specifically, how do y'all feel about this election year? It's been a hell of an election year.
Yeah, I hear that we at the, what do they say, the fork in the middle of the road. Like, it's really important.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if we choose whoever we choose, is whatever happened after that, it's not it's not looking good. And I don't, again, like I was just saying, I was never the one that was like, I didn't care about politics and all of that until like now, where we see where it's really affecting us, as an adult and stuff like that. But it's really that time where it's just like, okay, yeah, we really have to know what's going on, because we see how corrupt it is.
Yeah.
It's the whole system is corrupt. Stuff is not working out. Stuff is all over the place. It's confusion. They have questions.
Yeah.
Like, what is this all about? Who's really in control? Like, what's really going on?
Yeah.
And like, so much stuff is being open and brought to, is waking us up, as they say. Where it's just like, okay, like, yeah, what's really going on? This election is definitely important. Definitely get out there and vote if you have the right to get out there and vote. Register, do your research. Don't just go off of social media and what they're saying.
Yeah.
Vote for who you want, who you think is best. yeah, really, it's really that time. It's really serious, you know, just for our future. You know, we see what's going on with all these other countries around. We seeing like how it's war and people getting kicked out of their own country, and it's just so much crazy stuff going on, and that is like it's creeping in our country too. So if we don't get our act together, then yeah.
In our neighborhoods, like we like there was like a video the other day circulating where like Venezuelan pull up on O Block and just started blasting.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, they just started blasting.
Wow.
Like at 3:00 in the morning too, like just blasting.
Chicago?
Like here.
What?
Here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought that was just rumors.
No.
I didn't know that was true.
No. And then I ain't even gonna lie. I used to work at, FedEx, you know what I mean? FedEx office, y'all know FedEx office. People just get shit copied and faxed and printed and everything like that. There would be so many people who I would have to help specifically because I was the only person in there who can speak some good Spanish, right? I would always help out some people who needed their IDs copied from their country, and like having me like asking me if I would be a witness signature, and I don't read any of that stuff because it is their own business and it's government documents. But I saw one that and I got big ass glasses, so that's why I couldn't help but see it. It said seeking asylum. Yeah, seeking asylum. Wow. So and I was looking at him like he was nicely dressed and everything like that. He had like a watch on. I'm just like, you seem like a sane person to me. I don't know why you would need to go to an asylum. You know what I mean? Like, so that made me raise my eyebrow a little bit. But yeah, I would help out a lot of people who could not speak one word of English, and I can pretty much guarantee that a good number of them, if not most of them, were not legal.
Wow.
See,
I don't know how far y'all trying to get into the election talk because y'all know it get crazy.
It can get a little crazy. It can get a little crazy.
Stuff like that, like you dealing, like you working a real job. You working here in America. You dealing with people that's coming in and out.
Like,
you servicing the people.
Yeah, and like I'm seeing this shit like up close and personal. So like you can't tell me that it's not affecting our neighborhoods when it is. Like
and just experiencing something like that makes me question like who really is in this country, who really walked over to across the border and got into our country.
Right.
Yeah.
What are they like? Who are they?
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing that they not just regular people.
No.
Some of them out here like, these some swole people that came in here like they look like dangerous people. But then you got some people that came in with their family and children. But then you got people that coming in is like they got a whole lump on their neck. Like what is that?
Yeah.
And that stuff is serious. Like we have to question that. We have to think about that because it affects us.
Yeah.
And like you come in contact with them, like you saying like, oh yeah, he looks like a regular person, but why are you seeking asylum? You look normal.
Exactly. Like I didn't see not one tattoo. He had like a crisp fade, and like he looked like someone who like got money. He had like on the designer and like he had like on a nice ass watch. He had a really nice watch. I think it was like a Richard Mille or something like that. But you telling me that you need to seek asylum when you got on better clothes than most of the people who are here?
Yeah.
And like, no, bro. Like, what? I don't even understand that. And think about this, like there are millions and millions of people who want to get in this country. The fact that you could just cross over and just be like, all right, you good. Here goes $7,000 on the card and here goes a credit on the house. Bro, give me that credit.
Exactly. There's so many people
credit,
here
man.
that's been hoping for that and waiting for that and working really hard for that for so many years.
Yeah.
And now they don't have access to it as easily as someone else who hasn't been here.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like I lived in another country with the other people, so I was a foreigner in another country, and I felt like I was accepted. I was, people treated me really well, and I'm not, I would never do that to anyone. We're here, in our country.
Yeah.
It's just like it comes down to it when it comes to taking away, people jobs, taking away people, right to do things, and like when I was down in Costa Rica, like I I saw myself as serving others. What could I do to serve you while I'm here in your space and your country? I'm not here to try to come down here and take all your land and do all of that. Like, no, this is your land, and I'm grateful to even be here. What can I do to serve you? That. So, but is for them to come down, or people coming to your other country and just commit crimes and take over stuff and shooting up the block and taking over people's apartments. No, that's not okay.
Like in a war.
That's not okay.
That's not,
that's not okay. You don't do that. You don't do that in other people's countries. You don't do that. You go come here, you go through the process, the proper process of, getting your documentation and, getting registered and working like everyone else is. Like, no, you don't get a boost up just because.
Yeah. I mean, you would think that would be like common sense, but it's just not. And then when you say something about it, now you call it racist. Like when Trump has says like about them Haitians, eating, kidnapping other people's dogs and cats and kids. And there's video evidence of people going up to city council about that. And I don't want to get too political about that.
Really?
But yeah, there's videos of people like saying like, yo, like my dog is dead because y'all didn't do nothing like about these people.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know. That's what I'm like. See, it's serious though, but it sounds crazy, but it's serious.
Like it sounds so stupid that you can't help but laugh, but it's actually happening, which is so unfortunate. Yeah. So that all I'm saying is don't believe everything you hear. That's all I want to say about that.
Yeah.
Did
you all watch the debate?
I watched it.
I watched some of it.
I watched it about twice. I watched it twice. I had two reactions to that debate. I was unsurprised and I was unimpressed. I heard some of the same stuff that we've been hearing for years now. People still talk about January 6th, and then like about his past allegations and her and like, what's been going on in the country in the last few years. I don't like the fact that nobody really stated their policies, but at the end of the day, like we pretty much know Trump's policies because he said it before. But with Kamala, like she didn't really say nothing in that debate. I mean, that's just what I've noticed from it, and it's no secret how I feel, to be honest with you, in the past videos, people know how I feel, but I mean, like there was like both of the sides, both of the candidates, like didn't really satisfy me in that debate, to be honest with you. I was expecting more.
False information too.
It was definitely false information.
I heard about that.
It was definitely a lot of false information
from both parties, not just one side. Both.
Yeah.
How do you interpret Donald Trump? Not saying he have a plan, but have a concept of a plan.
Well, so in that regard, he was talking about Obamacare, and I do remember reading news about him like trying to, abolish Obamacare and replacements of a supposedly better healthcare system. I don't really know too much about that, but yeah, as far as healthcare, he did get rid of the individual mandate, and I know this because I have people in Kansas City who I work with who was on Obamacare, and they would have to pay a whole bunch of money just to get this basic needs from healthcare. You know what I mean? So he was able to lower the cost down just because I know people who don't have to pay as much anymore. But as far as like everything else that they said about immigration and foreign policies and like what else are they gonna do here to help Americans, we pretty much heard the same shit, to be honest with you. I didn't like the fact that Kamala said that she gonna give like a $7,000 or $25,000 credit to anybody that goes on the house. That's not gonna do nothing but raise inflation. Cause like let's just put ourselves in like in a seller's shoes, right? You hear this news that Americans are gonna get an automatic $25,000 increase, right? Why would I not simply just raise the prices? Why wouldn't I? Like, and plus, like if I do that, even if I take like a 3%, 5% markup over the years, that shit piles up. You know what I mean? Like people hear about the interest rates, like and 5 to 10% on a mortgage rate to a layman. You know, they may not think like that's not that much, bro. That's like a $50,000 increase. You know what I mean? Over the years, that means you had to like get a raise every year. Not every job gives you a raise every year, and even if they do, they only gonna give you like a 2% markup up against a 10% mortgage rate. You know,
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was just from what I saw from that debate, it was just a whole bunch of, you know, Trump bashing, not being clear on how to help people, and lies.
That's funny because like in my notes I wrote down about like what I thought about the debate is basically what you said. You know, I heard the same thing over and over, like, oh, what happened before? You know, what happened? You know, these last 4 years and the previous, you know, last 4 years when Trump was in office, and it's just like, you know, we know that, like we saw that, we heard that, you know, we've been through that. You know, how can we move forward? You know, and you know, my thing with Kamala, I want to make sure I get her name right.
It's Kamala.
Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Excuse me, Kamala.
So which one is it, Kamala or Kamala?
No, it's Kamala. It's Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah.
And then she's black or Indian.
We have to respect her name. We have to say it correct. Kamala. Did I say it right?
Yeah, Kamala. Yeah, it's Kamala Harris.
Yes, you know, her thing, you know, she just kept, I just kept repeating the same thing over and over. And, you know, and I do question, you know, if she could really, if she really want to convince the people that, you know, she's for us, she's for the future, she's for betterment of this country, why aren't she talking about what her and Biden are doing right now while he's still in the president's seat? I didn't hear her talk about Biden none. I didn't hear him talking about he still have how many months left he has until the office? How come I ain't heard from Biden? Where he at? Like I'm like you still have a little bit more time where, you know, it's at the, you know, in the middle fork in the road, in the middle of the road now. It's just like, you know, Biden needs to be I want to hear more from Biden and Kamala. Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Mrs.
It's
Harris.
Kamala.
I'm just gonna say that. I don't know why I'm always get slipped up with her name.
That's not a regular name to begin with. To be honest,
but you know, it's her name, so we have
I respect her name. I respect her name.
Yes, but it's like if I hear more about, you know, what the plan is, of course, having a policy, having a plan in place, but right now, taking action right now, because it's just like, you know, so much can happen within the next 2 months. So much can happen within the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you know, and they have time to start working on the issue now, you know, because she's in the position that she's in as vice president.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can you do now working with the president, since you have that some type of, you know, authority and
literally
right to do that, you know, what can you do now? Like, and I think she'll really, you know, convince the people more if she had Biden like talking and if he was really on it. I don't know why he just disappeared. So
and you know, I got a couple different, you know, I got some conflicted thoughts about Kamala, only because of, you know, from what I've seen of her past record, and also from like from what you said, like she's literally like, and then people will say something like she's the vice president, she's not the president. Dude, she's literally in the second most powerful position in the world, and she was a major factor on 33 legislation laws that was not passed.
Yes,
and she was the main. And I think, and from what rumors are saying, like she was the last component, or the last vote to pull out of Afghanistan, and then everybody knows what happened in Afghanistan, leaving all that equipment behind and people dying and all that. But you know, but yeah, so I think she literally has power right now, like executive. I'm sure she has some executive power to get something done before November 5th, if she really wanted to, if they really wanted to.
But I get what Trump was saying. You know how he has. What did he say? He has he doesn't have a plan.
Yeah, concept of a plan for
and that goes along with the Congress. You know, who's all in those seats, and what, you know, how much power they have.
Yeah.
You know, which is why those elections are important as well.
Yeah.
So just getting knowledgeable on that, making sure we voting in the right people in those seats, because that plays a huge part in what the president can do.
Yeah,
so, yes.
100%. You know, and look at me. I'm talking to the people at home. Look at me in the eyes. Okay, don't just focus on the presidential election, because your state representatives represent your state laws. So do your research on them too. Don't just be stuck up with the because if you vote for a certain president, but you voting for the same governor and same senator, it's most likely nothing's going to change in your state law wise. Yes. So pay attention to who you actually agree with. You know,
the blue and red is definitely powerful.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
I had a question. Is there any particular law that affected any of you all individually, whether it's healthcare, student loans, crime bills? I don't know.
My mother was she just got her master's degree about 2 years ago, master's degree in psychology. And I remember it was a big talk about, you know, canceling student loans and everything like that. She's still paying student loans, or she still paid student loans at the time. I believe she's done right now. You know, they didn't do shit about student loans like they said they would, you know. Yeah. But as far as any other specific laws that affected me personally, I can't really think of any. Can you?
Not really. I would say inflation has affected me.
Yeah.
Just paying more for things is frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they legalized weed a few years back. That kind of benefited me. That's one upside I can think.
You was going to get your weed regardless.
Yeah.
As far as anything else, I mean, nah.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything that was detrimental, like any one specific law that was detrimental to my life. Yeah. I do want to keep my guns, though.
Yeah.
I do want to keep my guns. Guns are very important to that. Like, that's how America became America, you know, with the Civil War, because people had, you know, the proper arms to you know, defend themselves. Mm-hmm. So you can't take away our guns away. Otherwise, we're literally not America. Right. At least that's my personal opinion about that. I don't know how y'all feel about guns. You know, I think I hate that guns were made, but like, bro, if I'm gonna protect myself, I have to protect myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're not taking my guns away. The moment that they try to take the Second Amendment away, it's gonna be some hell here in
yeah. Like you said, that's just how America was built. That's how, you know, that's how they was able to get the slaves, you know, over here was a gun. You know, the slave people, they wasn't able to fight back, or they was able to fight back. They had their bow and arrows, they had everything, but when they showed a gun and they shot somebody dead and they saw that person couldn't get back up, then that was the thing. And, you know, and it's not saying like guns are a good thing, because they're not a good thing, but that's just how this country is, you know. And I definitely see it getting worse now with, you know, this whole migrant situation that's going on, because it's like now we're really at a point now where we have to, the government, they're not going to protect us, but we have to protect ourselves, you know. And if we don't have, you know, our protection, our safety, our guns, you know, what are we gonna do? You know,
exactly.
You know, that's just how it is. You know, it's the unfortunate truth. You know, that's just how it is.
Yeah, like people, like I don't really like it when, you know, when people say if you need help, call 911. You know what I mean? I think I would be pretty much like better off like doing it myself. You know what I mean? Like, I had suffered a death in a family not too long ago. And basically he had a heart attack in public, right? And, you know, when you have a heart attack in public, not specifically that, when you go into cardiac arrest, like, it only takes a few minutes for you to be like brain dead. You know what I mean? It wasn't until a half hour later that they tended to him. It wasn't until a half hour later. So, like, I don't really want the government involved in anything that I got going on. I'm good. I don't need y'all help. If you want to talk to me about incentives, that's one thing, but you don't need to be knowing all my business. I don't want to know. I'm good.
You'll never call the police? Like,
I mean, if something,
it's like a last.
If something dire happens, you know, if something dire happens, like if I have a burglary, you know, and I shoot up some people, of course I'm gonna call the police to tell them what happened. Yeah. But as far as like calling the police to like handle something for me, like I could do bad all by myself, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel it.
And you know what I mean? Like I really, and plus at this point, like, you know, like I got pretty good life experience. You know what I mean? I used to be a lifeguard. I took martial arts before. I'm gun trained. I don't really find myself in many, you know, situations where I wouldn't be able to handle myself.
But you know, now, like I've heard plenty of cases where when people do protect themselves and fend for themselves, you know, they end up getting the short end of the stick. You know, for example, with I heard a case of a young lady who was in sex trafficking, and she killed the guy who was sex trafficking her for many years. She killed him. Yeah. But she ended up, you know, going through the system, the court, and ended up having to serve many years in prison.
I definitely heard that before.
Like, yes, we have to defend ourselves. Yes, you know, we have to protect ourselves. But when it comes to this system that we have to go through, this court system, when it comes to that part of it, because it seems like it always goes to that.
It always goes to it.
It's never in our favor.
Just a matter of control, like we said earlier. But that's just a matter of like your state laws. Like I know, like here in Chicago, like if someone breaks into your house, you have all the right to shoot them. But the moment they get off your property, if you shoot one shot, you likely now to like get charged. You know what I mean? So, like it's just that just depends on like the state laws that you in and the county laws. But that is unfortunate though. Like if I suffered something for like many years by this evil person, and I finally do something about it so I can be free, and then I get fucked at the end of it, like that's kind of, I ain't gonna lie, that's petty as hell. That's petty.
It is.
That's petty.
Yeah, and I've just read a case. I wish I had the guy's name, where he's about to be getting death sentence. Even though they have the evidence of proving his innocence, they got everything in place, but they just like, well, you still finna get the chair.
What?
And let me get this guy.
That gotta be from a southern state.
Yeah,
it has to be a southern state.
Yeah, and that plays a big part too, like what state and stuff we live in.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Everything is different. You know, that's why this election is important, knowing who your state senate is, who your governors, your mayor, all of that, and where you live. I realize now that this year, like literally where you live in the state that you reside in is really important. You know, as far as like when it comes to your health, wellness, all of that, because is every place is different. Every place is different in the U.S.
You know, and it's funny you say that, because I always wondered why, you know, like, because like there, you know, I look at, you know, some celebrities from Chicago that I look up to, like Ye, Chance, you know, even Chief Keef, and a couple of athletes, and I always wondered why nobody stays in Chicago. And then you look around, and then you see all this bullshit happening with the taxes, and like, I'm paying all these taxes, but yet the roads are still fucked up. My kids are still getting shot on a daily basis. Like, what is this? Like, where is this going? Nowhere. This ain't going nowhere. And then people keep voting the same because, oh man, she's a black woman. Like that Dalton mayor, get her ass out.
Oh yeah,
get her ass up out of here.
Yep,
like
all that money.
They're like, and then like as soon as she got ridiculed by her citizens because she let them down, like y'all should be ashamed of yourselves that y'all attacking a black woman. Like what? We don't give a fuck if you Zimbabwe. Like we want a safe community. You know.
The guy name is Marcellus Williams, and this is in St. Louis County Circuit. The court judge Bruce Hilson has denied the motion to vacate Marcellus Williams' conviction. Marcellus is set to be executed on September 24th for a crime that he did not commit.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
What do y'all think of the death penalty? Like, do you think something like that's still necessary for today?
It really depends. It really depends if like you're a real menace to society.
Yeah.
It really depends on it. Like I've seen like this one dude who was like, do you look like you want to kill me? Do you want to kill me? He was like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was like, oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah.
That was crazy.
I would like to kill you slowly. Like,
oh my god.
Give him the lethal injection in the chair and all that. But for him, and like that lady who got trafficked or who got sex trafficked by a certain person, and they kill him, and then like you doing a certain time. I listen. The court system in itself is messed up. Yeah. The court system itself is fucked up. You know, it don't matter if you're black or white, because like a lot of these cases, like you obviously hear about the with the ones with the black people a lot too, but like statistics show that like we're probably just like I forget what place we are, but we're not among the highest though. Like from what it seems like, it's usually white males who like get that type of treatment. But yeah, the court system itself is corrupt. Everybody knows that. Yeah, everybody knows that for a fact.
I don't agree with the death penalty, because it's just like, I don't think man should have power to determine if somebody should die or not. That's just my opinion. It's just like, but it also, the question is like, what do we do with people like that? You know, like you all heard about the shooting that just happened recently in Winter, Georgia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
at that high school, right?
Yes. Now the FBI already had eye up on the young man who had guns that was given to him by his parents, and
I heard his father's being charged with manslaughter or something.
Yep, his father was charged with manslaughter, and now this has happened where 4 people life has gotten taken away because of something that they had an eye on. They could have prevented. And it's just like they knew that this is a red guy or something.
Yeah.
They should have been
like an extreme guy, literally like far right extremist type of guy.
They should have been took that guy, the young man, out of school. They should have been watching his parents closely, because they a threat. And I feel like the FBI definitely failed us on that. They failed that city. They failed that county. That state. With 100%. That situation. And it's like, what do we do? But what do they do with people like that? Because the jail houses are full. People are roaming loose that has mental issues that's not even aware of. So it's just like, but the man having the power to kill someone or
absolutely,
I don't think they should have that.
And to add on to your point about what do you do with people like that? More importantly, what do you do to prevent that from happening again without violating the Second Amendment? Yeah, that's a conundrum to think about. Yeah, that's a major, because like anytime that you got like a process of where it takes longer, or just y'all know what I'm saying, like delay the process of becoming an arm bearer in this country. That I feel like you gonna eventually violate the Second Amendment. You know what I mean? Like if you got like a something on your record, but it's like a non-violent crime, but they still deem you mentally unstable for a gun. Like, excuse me, so I can't protect myself, bro. Yeah. That's
the
what
world we live in now. It's a hot topic, and that's just the world we live in, and it's serious, and I think we all should be aware of it now, especially if you're over the age of 18, or just I'm not gonna say any age, because children shouldn't be involved. Children shouldn't have to suffer from this. Children shouldn't be affected with this at all. But they're involved somehow. Anyhow with what they've been taught in school, what they've been these laws that they're giving in. Like, children shouldn't be involved in this, but as an adult, this is just what we have to deal with.
Yeah. So as a mother with 2 kids, let me ask you this: at what point would you feel comfortable with your children being gun trained? Like, at what age do you feel like you would be comfortable with them being able to handle a weapon?
Me personally, I would say, like preteen, preteen age, and it's not even just for protection reasons. It's just hunting. I teach you how to hunt, and this is what we use, to hunt. But, in the world that we live in, at a defense, I want to teach my child, especially my son, which I'm going to put in karate soon, how to,
nice.
defend with your hands.
Very good choice. Very good choice.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely like at a preteen age, where they handling a weapon and knowing how to use it, not for protection reasons, but for hunting reasons.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I would say around like 11, 12, because at that point, they should be mature enough to know that this can hurt you. You know what I mean? Like you didn't hit your head on this a couple times. That shit hurt, didn't it? So with this thing right here, it can kill you. It won't hurt. It will kill you. You understand? Good. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say around 11, 12. I think that's a good age to teach their kids. Yeah. What about you? What would you say?
Well, like last time, like 17, 18.
That's a little.
I want them to be a little bit more mentally responsible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, there's definitely a lot of things happening nowadays, though. That I just hope everybody stays safe. You know what I mean? Because like the moment every time I walk out that door, it's like, all right, I'm gonna pray I'll make it home. You know what I mean? Just because you don't know if you're gonna make it home. You literally don't know. So yeah.
But don't leave out your house walking and thinking and having fear,
right?
Because that's just gonna put yourself in situations that you don't want to be in. So.
At that point, you're just gonna be an anxious person.
Yeah.
That
people are already dealing with anxiety and stuff enough. So don't live your life in fear. Don't be afraid of anything.
I would say put your son in boxing instead.
Boxing?
I would say boxing.
Why boxing?
Because most of the time, like, well, karate's good. You know what I mean? And that's what I just think boxing is the best martial arts to defend yourself. Because like it's very rare a dude's gonna throw kicks in a street fight or something like that.
Interesting.
And there are certain positions in like karate where like you will learn to defend yourself too, but you gotta be able to throw these though. You gotta be able to throw these. So yeah, I would say boxing personally.
Okay.
Yeah, either boxing or Muay Thai.
I'll definitely consider that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, Madam Producer, you got any kids?
No.
That's
all I'll say.
Yeah. But yeah. Thank y'all for tuning into this episode. And Giselle, Madam Producer, thank y'all as well. Y'all helping make this special. Thank you, Raymond. I don't know why I'm thanking you. I see your ass almost every other day, but thank you. And yeah, let us know what y'all think down in the comments about everything, because this stuff does need to be talked about. And one thing I'll say in the comments real quick, we haven't had this problem yet, but I just want to make something clear. If you disagree with us, that's cool. But if you disrespectfully disagree with us, then I'm gonna come pull up on you. All right?
No need to be disrespectful.
Yeah, right.
State your opinion. That's okay. We're here to disagree. I like you guys' different perspectives of it. It helps us learn more.
Exactly.
It help us see more.
Huh? What you mean you gonna pull up on him? They be talking like that. Hey, I'm not with him.
Look, y'all see how he dressed? Y'all trust him or y'all trust me?
Let me take this off.
It's your boy Trey.
Boy Ray.
And we are out.
Peace.